Hey, how are you? This is Sharik. I am just adjusting this for a little bit, okay? Looks good. All right, ladies, how are you? This is day 5. It's hard to believe that we're already at the last day of the Uplevel Your Sales 5-day Masterclass, but we are here. And today I'm really excited because we're talking about sales objections and closing, which I know are two of the biggest issues in sales. Is how do I get past these objections and then how do I close it? And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some ways that you can do that and ways you can do that you can document your objections so that the next times you get them, you can really focus on, okay, now I know what to say, I can go ahead and do it, and you can anticipate them and then close. And believe me, it's a lot easier than you think, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is, why is this so hard? Why is objection so hard? Because I know in our minds, we just want to be able to give a great sales presentation and then go right to the person saying, yes, I want to buy. But the reality of it is that that's not going to happen because people have questions they want to know, especially if your investment is anywhere from 2K to 5K. People want to, be sure before they give over that money. And if you put yourself in their position, surely you can understand that too. So that's why it's very important that you make sure that you have your answers in your mind already. What is your process? What are the results they can expect from you? What's going to happen after the call? So that way you have a way to show them that you have a system that's tight in place and you can also address their questions on what's in it for them. Okay, and we talked about that yesterday. So the rule of thumb with handling objection is not to accept the overall objection because we know that a lot of times you get an overall statement, but it takes a lot of probing to get to the real issue, okay? Because a lot of times they can say it's no money, but it can really be something else such as worth. It can be maybe they just got laid off and they want to make sure that they're making a wise investment. And when you convince them that, yes, this is a wise investment, they'll be a little more at ease. So it's really about making sure that you just answer the real objection, okay? And really the best way to anticipate objections is number one, you want to document. Every time even in really early, if you think back to your early years, every time you get on a sales call, you want to write down every objection you get, everything that you're hearing from your ideal clients, everything that you're seeing out there for reasons why people don't invest in coaching programs, why you don't invest in your particular type of program, whether or not it's coaching, but why are they saying no? Because it's so important to know that so that way you can anticipate it and be able to handle it even before the call. You can handle it in your marketing post, you can handle it in your lead magnets, your webinars, but even on the phone when it comes up, you're more confident in how you're able to handle that, okay? And so documentation is very, very key. I have like several I want to call them cosmopolitan so bad, composition books that I keep. One for sales, one for mindset. I have one for spiritual that I'm working through with my prayers. And another one I have for copy because it's important that you have somewhere that you can document all of your stuff. And of course, in the sales one, I have objections. And so it's very important that you keep track of that. Okay, so document that. So we're going to go over some of the most common objections that you've heard. And I know we've all heard. I think it just goes across industry. It doesn't matter whether you're service-based or product-based. I'm sure you've heard this before. And the number one is, I can't afford it, right? That's the number one objection. And so the key to this objection is really looking at the person's, whether or not they really have a belief. And is this really something that can happen for me? Is this something that I can see myself doing? If I pay this money, am I going to get it back? And so the way you want to handle that is we want to really get down to probing to how can they see themselves in this position and how can they see themselves not only getting ROI, but really getting to what they really want. And that's more money for what? Okay, so that's your job to find out what the for what is so that you can address that when you're handling the objection. Why do they want more money? Why do they want to lose weight? Why do they want to have a killer funnel? Besides the obvious, what is the real reason that they're doing all this in the first place? And that's really important to know that. Okay, I have to ask my husband or spouse. That just means they need more convincing. Okay, because if they're totally convinced, 9 times out of 10, they'll go and sell their spouse. And I know this for myself. When I know that I want something, I will go to my husband and not so much ask permission, but say, this is why I think this is important. This is why this is important to me. When I hire my own coaches, hey, this is what I want to do and this is why. So they just need for you to tell them Give them more information so that they can go and turn around and sell their own spouse. All right. I want to see if I can afford it. So they're kind of straddling the fence. That's what that means. They're trying to really see. So it's up to you to give them some testimonials, give them a case study of someone who was exactly like them and how you were able to help that person get to where they are trying to get. So try to find or think of the closest client example you have to that person so that you're able to help them get over that fence and invest. And this is one I hear about a lot, especially for women who are up-leveling. And that's when you just raised your price and you say it for the first time and someone tries to shame you. And I call it like the shaming objection. And this is like, I call it a cousin to the I can't afford it, because they make you feel bad for raising your price. They make you feel like you're a piece of crap, basically. And it really can, make you feel that way. But this is why your mindset is so important, and doing your mindset work prior to getting on the phone and being confident in that price and knowing in yourself why you were charging that price. And so what I say here, if you want to, if someone gives you that, great response to that is, well, it seems that we just may not be a good fit to work together, for that. My price is based on my value and the results I bring. And if it's not aligned with you, that's fine. But this is my price. One thing you should never do is back down, and you should never discount. When you say your price, just dead silence after that and let them figure it out. Don't try to blurt out, I have payment plans. Don't try to explain away your price. Let them know, give them the time and space to let it run around their heads for a while, and then respond to whatever they say from there on out. Okay? Because the reality of it is that they're going to try to do that, and they want you to say, oh, that's okay. I'll just give you a special rate just this one time. And if you do that once, it's killer, because that person will go and tell 5 other people, and now you look like someone who's very indecisive about their price. And for you personally, it just really kills your mindset, because you just did all this work to set your price, and now you're going back on that. And so it's going to take a lot to get back to that place. So don't allow anyone to shame you for charging your price. As long as it's aligned with you, your value and results you bring, don't let anyone do that. That person is more than likely not your ideal client. Okay? So the keys to really handling objections successfully is, when you get an objection, don't judge them. I mean, I'm sure that they're not pleasant to hear, but don't judge the person by, either verbal or nonverbal cues, by making it seem as if what they just said was really stupid. Even if it's ridiculous, and I can tell you about some ridiculous ones that I've even given. So trust me, you're going to hear it. All right. Let them know their concerns are valid. They are valid. No matter what they say, however they're feeling, it's valid. Okay. So don't take that away from them. Also, keep an eye out, for your tone of voice. Keep an even tone of voice. Don't get high pitched all of a sudden, and don't go down, but just keep a very even, relaxed pitch when you're handling the objection, so that they don't feel as if, okay, I just pissed her off. Like, oh gosh, here she is now. But keep it a very even tone. And then your body language. If this person's right in front of you, if this person's watching you on Zoom, and all of a sudden your shoulders slump and you fall back, or you roll your eyes, or you sigh, or do something, that's a bad cue. They want to know that you understand their concerns, and they want to know at the end of the day that you can answer it confidently and effectively and right away. So really just watch those things. And this is why it's so important that you practice and don't just go and try to wing it on a sales call. Okay? And listen and clarify. Don't just automatically blurt out. Clarify first. Is this what you mean? Or is this what I'm hearing? And what I'm hearing is this. Is this what you mean? And then handle the objection from there on out. So that way you're handling the right objection, okay? And of course, I said this several times, ask probing questions. Make sure you really get to the heart of it, because a lot of times there is some underlying surface objections there, and you really want to make sure that you are handling that objection and not giving them even more reasons. I mean, God forbid you pull some rabbit out the hat and you've given them even more questions to have about your program. Okay, so there's some questions that you want to ask yourself, and this is also today's daily assignment that I really want you to focus on. What is your number one sales objection that you get that just gets you every single time? And it may be ones that we covered already in this masterclass, but what is that? I want you to post that in the group. And also I want you to talk about, how do you normally respond to these objections? And think about what we talked about, the pain points of your ideal client. We talked about how can you tie your solutions to their pain. So keep all of that in mind and really tie it all together in a nice little bun. All right, because I want to see what you're doing. Okay, this is what I do even for paid clients. I want to know what you're doing first, and then I can better, show you the gaps in that. And so also I want you to talk about closing, because now that you have your daily assignment for objections, I want to talk now about closing, because I know that is something that's very, very, it's like a dreaded experience, because you're like, okay, I got over that hump. Now I need to end this. Okay, how do I end this? And the reality of it is that it's really much easier than you really would expect. It's not as hard as it seems. But in the beginning, and when you really get into it, I understand that it can be. So I'm just going to be completely honest. I didn't just jump out of sales and just go do either myself. I went through weeks of training first before I got in front of a client. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh yeah, you can do it. But basically, it's the moment of truth. Okay, it's the part where you have to stop the call and really do it in a way that you're not seeming forceful or pushy, and you're not seeming like, okay, I want to hurry up and get this. Now that you get my yes, bye, whatever. You want to make sure that you are wrapping it up professionally and tight. And so what you want to do before you do your final hard close, you want to do a soft close. And so what you do is you give them your process. And if you have my lead magnet, 10 steps to successful sales calls, even if you're an introvert, that gives you my complete sales call process, okay? And in that, it's going to tell you how to do a soft close first. And what that is basically you're going to recap what you can do for them to get them results. And then you just say something like, how does that sound? And then you just be quiet, and then you let them tell you. Okay, this is typically where the objections come in. And then once you handle the objections, you say, okay, now that I've handled the objection, and you'll say it in your own words, but now that you've handled the objection, now would you like my help with this? And that is it. It's not hard. Would you like my help? Would you like me to help you implement this? Okay, now that you've handled their concerns, you did a soft check, you know, okay, what they're thinking, you kind of know what their concerns are. Now just do a nice soft one, and then you do the hard final close. And it doesn't have to be this answer me now, give it to me now type thing. Okay? And so basically, let me see, do you want my help with that? And you can give options, okay? So you don't have to always make it a yes or no. So many of us have several programs. I know some people say one only, but at this point, you already have about maybe 2, maybe 3. I have my 12-week 101, Seek, Serve, Sell program. I also have intensives. And of course, as you'll learn tomorrow, I have a 6-week sales course. So that's 3. Okay, so you give them options instead of a yes or no. Which one instead of that? You know what I mean? So that way you're not just giving them yes or no and you say no and that's it. But which of these is best for you? Okay, and that's something that my coach is definitely forced with me, and it's something that I've even done myself. Which is this? Which one would you like? And that's even on my pre-call form. Which of my programs are you most interested in? And even if they say one, look on the phone and it'll be another. So don't even worry about that if you talk about that in your pre-call form. But give them options so that they're thinking, okay, well, I really want to work with this person, so I like that one there. And then you can talk about why that one may be a good option for them, or say, okay, I know you want that one, but let me talk to you about how this one can really, really help you, because I know that you have other concerns too that we can really, really map out over these 12 weeks or 6 weeks to get you there, and that you're confident and you're empowered and you're ready to roll by the time we're done working together. You know what I mean? And so you want to make sure that you're really doing that too, so that you're not just making it a hard yes or no. And role play. This, I cannot say this enough. At the end of the day, for your objections, your closing, your sales pitch, everything we talked about this week, it's so important that you role play. I never left sales training until I role played with my district manager and my colleagues. Okay, and by the time I left there and got in front of a client, I knew everything about my sales presentation. I knew the objections, I knew what they're going to say, I knew how to respond. And so you can do that by yourself in the mirror, you can do it with a friend, but I highly recommend you get a sales coach, someone who knows the buying cues, someone who can say, okay, you said too much, that's not what they asked, that's not what they said to you, this is what they really want. Someone who can really guide you through that sales call and really give you the great words to say, the trigger words, to know when you can detect when someone is ready to buy, when you can stop selling them, because sometimes you can oversell and turn a yes to a no. And you need someone who can really help you with what questions to ask, when to probe, when to stop, that kind of thing. So I highly recommend a sales coach. If I can be selfish, yes, because I think a sales coach, and I know for a fact a sales coach can really, really give you the great information you need so that you can close, handle objections confidently, and do it over and over and over and get even better. And that, of course, means making more money for your business so that you can do what you want to do with your business, whether it's personal goals and business goals, okay? And so that is it for today. I want to see your post in the group. I want to see your number one sales objection. I want to see how you're handling that. And looking back at what we talked about from day 2 through 4, show me all of that. Show me how everything you've learned can go into handling those objections and how you would close. You can even, I'm gonna put that in there too. Show me how you would close the call too after you've handled the objection, okay? And then I'll come in and give you my comments as well. So go to the Sales Mastery for established online business owners and make your posts. Use the hashtag Uplevel your sales, and that way you get credit because the winner gets a spot in my 6-week Level Up and Sell Mastermind. This is a 6 weeks mastermind that you do not want to miss. If you like this week, you will love that because everything we did today and all this week, you get step-by-step guidance, templates, proven systems to really get you out there selling every day through your funnel, through your post, and through your programs. And so you don't want to miss that, okay? So tomorrow I'm going to make the announcement for the winners. And I'm going to talk to you more about the Level Up and Sell program and how you can get in on some very, very cool bonuses so that you're more confident and that you're able to go out and sell and make more money, okay? And that's what we all want, all right? And so tomorrow, 11 a.m., I'll be back here. And these videos, I highly suggest you watch them now because they are coming down on Sunday night. Day 1 through 5 will be here only from now to Sunday night, and I'll be taking those down, and then they'll be available in the form of a package where you'll have the PDFs with all the questions and daily prompts, and you'll be able to go through each video and really dive deep, okay? But obviously, if you want more support and execution, Level Up and Sell Mastermind is your answer for that. All right, so go to the group, let me see your post, and I'm looking forward to it, ladies. I'm loving everything that you've done this week. I love looking at everything. You're so detailed and you're just painting the picture so great. So I'm loving that. So I want to see some more. All right. And of course, I want to see you more credit. All right. Thanks, ladies. Bye-bye.